So here's my jeweling jig. Pretty simple. I wanted it simple because it might only be a one-time use. So this hole here is drilled not all the way through, as you can see, and it fits so this turns exactly, right? So that's a perfect hole for the size of the bolt. So this rod is a piece of oak dowel. It runs all the way in to here as far as it will go. The marking will be on this. So the first time I use it, I'm going to have to mark where it goes. And then if I ever do use it again, the marks will already be there. But for now, it's a one-time thing. So today's project is going to be jeweling this bolt catch. Now, I don't want to jewel the whole thing. I only want to jewel this piece in the center here, this cover plate. So I'm going to need to take this off. Now, it comes off fairly easy. So we take this screw out. See, it's kind of pointed. And that is because when you put it back together, this needs to be engaged. So we're going to go over to the vise. And you see, I hope you can see this. This is dovetailed in. So we're going to try to pop that out. So I don't want to just clamp this in the vise if I cannot. I need to find my lead jaws for this, although I could just throw a piece of leather on there, I guess. But let's see if we can't just pop this off. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this, so what I had to do is put that screw back in. That forced that piece back up to where I could finish removing it from the dovetail. And there we have it. It's in pieces. Now I can, there's the spring I was talking about. And I can go ahead and jewel just that piece right there. So I went ahead and I got this set up. I just put this piece of wood here underneath, so I didn't have to tighten that quite so much to hold the downward pressure. I don't want to muck up the sides. I suppose I could have stuck a piece of leather on there, but the wood works there just fine. Now I've got this ruler down there, and I plan on just incrementing every 3/16 and try it. There are a couple of reasons that I'm doing this little piece first. Is when I go to do the bolt, I want to know exactly what's going to work. Now I'm going to be using this, and I've got two little O-rings on there just to hold that in place, and I'll move them down. So you can buy these, you can get the Dremel version, or you can order the engine turning brush on Brownells. The rubber O-rings, I went to Harbor Freight and I got this set. It's way more than I need, but it was $4, which is going to cost me less than buying 2 or 3 of those off the internet. So we'll see how that all works. So here's what I'm using for valve grinding compound. This came with a recommendation off of another YouTube video. So we're going to give it a try. To be honest, the last time I did this, I don't remember what I used, and I can't find anything in my shop, so I don't know where it went. But we're going to try this and hope for the best. So that first attempt didn't work out as I expected. So I went and I got 3 smaller O-rings, and we're going to try this again. Exactly what I wanted. So I went ahead and I cleaned this up, and I'm going to put it back together now. This piece I'm going to paint with the rifle. I've ordered some Alumahide from Brownells, and I think I'm going to try that. The last Mauser I did. I used the baked on a finish. But this time I think I'm going to try the aluminum hide just because I never tried it before, and it comes with fairly good reviews. Let's put this back in there just to put that back together. Something tells me I have that piece in backwards. Let's try it. Now we'll just give it a test and make sure everything's working like it should. Here we go. That's what it looks like on the rifle. It will look a little better once the outline there is darker. And now I'm going to make an attempt at jeweling the bolt. So I made this jig just to hold the bolt while I'm jeweling it. I put a mark there, and I think I'm going to have to rotate this every about 3/16. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it. So if I ever need to use it again, it'll already be marked. But I'll mark it one as I go, and that way, you know, it's a pretty cheap and easy jig, and I don't know if I'll ever do this again or not. If I do, well, I'll either still have it or it's pretty easy to make. This here is pretty much a spacer. I'm going to put this through. I got it tapered here just so I can find the center easier, or not the center, but get it into where it goes, and then we'll move over to the drill press. And that should hold it enough, but we'll find out in a minute, won't we? I'm going to start with this and then work my way around. So here's a quick after use advice. If you're going to make one of these, this worked pretty well, but the distance from here to here should be shorter. So if I use this again, I'm going to taper this something like this, just because I wound up extending this a little because my chuck was hitting here. So cut that down lower. This distance doesn't mean anything as long as your bolt handle can pass through, but this one you want shorter. So as before, I'm going to put some valve grinding compound on. This is 280 grit. I just smear it on here. I've still got that ruler in the back. I'm going to advance it every time I'll advance it. It's 3/16 of an inch. That seemed to work before, so we'll try it this time. And I'm counting to 8 here. Why? I'm not sure. That's what I... actually up that to a quarter of an inch move. That seems to be okay. Now that I got that much done, I can't help myself. I have to see what it looks like. Make sure we're headed in the right direction. I think that's good enough for a homegrown job. Actually, I think it looks pretty good. Now this is kind of one of those really monotonous jobs that sometimes you can kind of get zoned out. But the nice thing about it is you can just shut the drill press off and walk away and come back later and pick it back up. That just a hair over. Now I think you get the idea. I'm just going to go all the way around this bolt. Don't know how long it'll take. Don't know if I'll do it all in one sitting even. But when it's done, I will definitely come back and show you the end results. The other thing I'm going to note is that there's probably going to be some spots that I'm going to want to kind of touch up with a hand drill. For instance, when I get to around this bolt, I'm not going to be able to get to it with the drill press. So I'll just put that in my handheld drill and hit it like that. But I'll come back and show you how I do that. So to clean it, I just put it in some cleaning fluid, and then I took a toothbrush and wiped the stuff off. Remember, this stuff is the compound is abrasive, so I didn't want to just wipe it off with a towel. I don't really know that it made that much difference. And this is actually fun trying to hold the camera and do it at the same time, but you get the idea. I'm going to finish it up, get it out of this, get it dried off, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. I think this looks pretty good. I'm happy. Cost me a few bucks. Had to buy some valve grinding compound. I already had the brush, but I bought another one anyhow. They're, I don't know, $7-8. Now I got enough to do about 100 more rifles, which I'm not even sure I've got another one to do. So there we have it.